waddle, waddle, till the very next day. Bum, 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 ba-dum.
Dirty motherfucker, you! Who is this motherfucker? This is the dirtiest shit I've ever seen in any sports.
You can't fuck with Red Glove on his worst day. How about that?
I ain't really changed, it's the same old rebel. Still a radical, I'm passionate, it's just another level. AC told me I should fight back, they don't like that. Just know if you rock the boat, you better have a life raft. BJ told me I should fight back, they don't like that. Just know if you rock the boat, you better have a life raft.
What up, everybody in the NBBC? So I want to talk about this pandemic that we got going on. And no, I'm not talking about the coronavirus. And no, I'm not talking about COVID-19. Yes, I know those two things are the same thing, but I'm just saying that is not the pandemic that I am wanting to talk about in this video. The pandemic I want to talk about is the pandemic of excuses. Yes, in the boxing world, there is an oversaturated market of excuses. And I know I'm going to get heat for this. I know people are going to, say something about this. But guess what? It's my opinion and it's my channel.
Warning! My opinion is being shared on a channel that is my own.
So I'm going to say it. I think that the PBC has it worse than anybody else. All right. First, let me start off with Gary Russell Jr. Now, I actually like Gary Russell Jr. a lot. OK, out of all the PBC fighters, the ones that I like the most right now are Gary Russell Jr., Jared Hurd. I also like Sean Porter. I rock with these guys. However, just because I rock with you doesn't mean that I'm just gonna be a sheep and go along with anything that you say. And Gary Russell Jr., he said some shit that I don't agree with. All right, making excuses, talking about how he was weight drained when he fought Lomachenko. One, you signed the contract to fight at that weight. Two, you've been fighting at that weight ever since. It's not like you lost to Lomachenko and then you say, you know what, maybe I'm draining myself, I need to move up, and then you moved up. No, you had every fight that you've had since then has been at the same weight and you've been whooping ass. So that's not a fucking excuse that you were weight drained. Okay, if you were weight drained, then why didn't you move up? Why did you not move up? All right, but I still like Gary Russell Jr. I still have a lot of respect for him. I just think it would have been much better to say, look, I lost the first fight. I still think I'm the better man. I just would like another opportunity to prove so. He said that, no problems. Made no excuses, and you're still trying to get that rematch. Because that's the thing that I'm hearing a lot of people say. Oh, Gary, I think Gary just wants to run it back. Cool. You can run it back minus the excuses. Please do. Please do. Now let's move on to Errol Spence Jr. Here's another guy who wants to make excuses. He's saying that the reason why he didn't look as good as he felt he was going to against Sean Porter is because he didn't cut weight correctly. Really? Really? Yeah. I think, me and a bunch of other dudes have been saying that you need to be staying closer to fight shape. Okay, you yourself, after fighting Mikey Garcia, said that you needed to stay closer to fight shape, even when you don't have a fight coming up. But you know what? You still didn't do it. Okay, for some reason, your words and your actions really just don't align up with each other. Because I agreed with you when you said that shit, but I don't agree with the shit that you actually did. Okay, expectations versus reality, and guess what? Reality was you did the same old shit. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. You think that it would be a good idea to stay away from Five Guys Burgers and Fries? You think it would be a good idea to stay away from the club drinking all night? Yeah, that's kind of common sense, man. But you didn't do those things. You didn't. And we know you didn't because you sure as hell didn't stay away from the bottle. Because if you did, you wouldn't have ended up in that car crash. You wouldn't have ended up in that car accident. Okay? But these are common sense things, man. Yeah, of course. If you took your weight more seriously, because you're not a heavyweight and because your profession is boxing, then yeah, it would make sense for you to stay closer to your fight weight and fight shape year round. That way, when you sign a fight, you're not spending half the camp in fat camp. But yeah, but I don't want to hear the excuses that you didn't cut weight correctly. Motherfucker, that's all on you. It's your career. You're the one who didn't do it correctly. It wasn't Sean Porter's fault. According to you, he was the easy road, and guess what? That shit looked anything but easy. All right? Now let's go ahead and move on to the king of excuses. The excuse king. Deontay Wilder. I almost called him Deontay Wilder Jr. just because the first two dudes I talked about were juniors. But yeah, Deontay Wilder. That wasn't me in the ring that night. I felt like a zombie. My bicep was torn. It was ripped. Motherfucker, it's your career. If that was the case, why didn't you have it postponed? Now, ultimately, if you had it postponed, it wasn't gonna happen because shortly after your fight is when shit started getting canceled. But still, you didn't know that. So, and even if you did know that, it wouldn't make a difference because you have to do what's best for your career. All right? But if you had a torn bicep and you still decided to fight, it's not an excuse. That's all on you. Okay? When people were trying to make excuses for AJ, saying that they thought he was concussed in sparring leading up to the fight, it's like, oh well, AJ is a man. That's his career, and he needs to manage his career to the best of his ability. And if his dumbass wanted to get in the ring knowing that he was concussed, that's all on him. I'm not gonna act like he's undefeated just because he got in that fight concussed. No. He made that mistake. Same thing with you, Deontay Wilder. If you got in the ring and you weren't 100%, guess what? You still take the L. It's not Tyson Fury's fault that you had a torn bicep. If even that is the case, because you know what? You didn't say shit leading up to the fight, and you didn't say nothing until almost 2 months after the fight. So yeah, I'm not gonna accept the torn bicep shit. I'm not gonna accept the zombie excuse. All right, and then you got all these other zombies parroting the shit, coming up with excuses for him. Now, granted, if it's not an excuse that he made himself, I'm not gonna hold that against him. He can't control what his what's the word I want to use? Extreme fan base. I don't want to use anything too derogatory, but it's not his fault what his extreme fan base is saying on in his defense. But he has total control out of what comes out of his mouth, and he said that he had a torn bicep and it wasn't even him in the ring. Bullshit. All right, I don't accept it. You don't consider Tyson Fury the champion. Well, guess what? It don't matter what you consider. WBC has him listed as the WBC champion. If he were to go into a fight with Joshua, whoever wins that fight would be the undisputed champion. If that fight were to happen tomorrow, okay? Don't want to hear the bullshit of whatever you consider is bullshit to me anyways, because like you never took the sport seriously anyways. You want to know how I know that? All I got to do is look at your resume. That's all I got to do. Is look at your resume. All I got to do is take a look at the whole attitude of 33 fights. I'm a champion, but I'm a baby. I'm a baby. Yeah. The excuses, they don't fly around here. All right, that might work with them sheep over there. That might work with them, who are blinded over there. But over here, where it's true media, where we see shit for what it is, that shit don't fly. To my subscribers, anybody watching my videos, or if you just so happen to stumble on this video, hope y'all enjoyed it. Please leave a comment. Peace.
That's why I'm undefeated.
Fuck yeah, this is the shit! Kill me now!